Ed Daul, Daul, De Pere, Wisconsin. My birthday was June 27th, and my next draft was in October, so I went volunteer draft because I didn't think I was going any place anyway. Because I had 2 years in, and I only had 4 credits. I would have been there for 20 years to get 16 credits. Well, everybody my age was going to service, so I thought I should go too. I went down for physical, and I went to Milwaukee, and then I passed the physical, and I went down there with 3 other guys, and we all talked about going in the Army, see. So I went upstairs, and I passed, and those other 2 guys, they took the Navy. So I went back upstairs, and I says, I want to change that to the Navy. He says, get out of here, you're in the Army. We went to, we passed through Chicago. We went to Camp Wallace, Texas. Well, I only knew one guy there. I knew in one of the other battalions, but it was young. I took it as it came, see, And the only thing is that I was going to join the paratroopers after basic training, but there's another 6 weeks, because I wanted to go home and see Ma. They taught us the rifle and how to shoot it and how to dig holes and how to march and take orders and stuff like that. They had a regular daily mail call, and I didn't write too much, but I did send a letter to Mom once in a while, She was the only one that I really cared for. My furlough, 10-day delay en route, it was. And we were supposed to report to in Maryland, basic training. What the hell place was that? Well, anyway, we all had to be there by a certain date. And we also had one night in New York. We made the rounds. Well, everything. We even went to a diamond dance place. We went to Jack Dempsey's. He was right there in the square, and a few other places. It was the USS George Washington. It was a troop ship. At one time, it was a lecture ship. There was GIs packed all over it, even way down in the hole. One night we heard boom, boom, boom. Well, there was the submarine in the area, and twice we heard that boom, boom, boom. They're dropping depth charges. But otherwise, see, we were the flagship. And the flagship could go only as fast as the slowest ship. So. That's the way it was. Well, I didn't get seasick, but a lot of guys got seasick, and they had a little bucket right by the bed, and vomit, But I was up on deck a couple of times, and I see their deck is made of wood, and I see the planks going like this here, So I figured I better get down below. But then they're down there heaving, so what are you going to do? But that wasn't too bad. We were on the ship only, we landed in England on the 1st of April. So we were on the ship for about 11 days only. We got on trips and we went to a basic training camp, and we didn't really see much of England, although they did give us a passive one. What the hell can you, we were about 100 miles from London, but we could see them at night bombing England. We could see the planes, being caught. But it was too far to go on an overnight pass, Same old crap, walking and reading maps and stuff like that, Well, see, that's where we got our rifle. They were packed in calcium so we had to clean them, And that's something to clean a rifle full of calcium, But hot water does it, melts it off. But then you got to take it apart and clean it, and that's what you're supposed to learn about your rifle. We had this one guy who the Army had set it on his land, and we'd go steal a little hay or something like that, and he'd come wanted back, because that's for his cows, and stuff like that. Our bed was a wooden bed with chicken wire, and you had your mattress cover lay on that. That was your bed, So you wake up with a few wrinkles. If you steal an apple, he was back there going to collect for that apple, But he took our honey buckets every day, and spread it on his land, but that was something different, We didn't know from Adam, but we did know that France, we didn't know where we were going, but France was with, what do you call them, there were blocks of land where we would have fences. They had hedgerows. We didn't know anything was going on until the night of the invasion, and then they woke us up about 2 o'clock, and the sky was just black with planes, So they said, get ready. So we packed up and we got on trucks and we went to deportation plant, where the other people were. We filled in there. See, it was I don't know where it was, but it was near the deportation plant. The division landed in D+2, and we were filling up the ships that brought them over there. See, yeah, there was a lot of activity. We were kept pretty much cooped up. You know what I mean? We couldn't go out and see anything. We got on the LSCs at shore, and then we had a walk. They were starting to clean the beach already, but they had bodies all over the place. I forget how many bodies there was, but there were still bodies. There was one ship bringing them in and one ship bringing them out. I wasn't scared until I heard the first shell. When you go over the side of the ship down the landing the net, you gotta wait till the boat comes up and then you step on it, and then you go away. Well, when after you drop the gate, you stepped off, and some guy next to me jumped in and he went down. He never came up, But otherwise, it was normal landing, I guess, But it was scary, They took my rifle away and made me a litter bearer. See, I was that way for 3 days, but there was nobody to carry. The wounded were all walking home, and they could move by themselves. All our fields were, instead of fences, they had brush, and they had a gate in there somewhere. But we had to crawl all over the outfit. After we shooting, then we figured it was clear, and we'd jump over to the next one. But that was not so much fun. Actually, some of them they pulled out. Like the pillboxes were empty, and the front line was moved. What I think what they were thinking about doing is drawing us in and whacking us, but it never happened. I can't explain it to you. It's just shit in your pants. Your heart goes up here, and you're just shaking. You keep on walking forward. And you go forward. Because one day I was digging a slit trench, and I headed down about that far, one spadeful, and they started throwing artillery at us. So I dove in the hole. Another guy dove on top of me, and I think another one could have got on top of him, because you really flatten out. It was an awful gun. It was a gun made for aircraft, and they turned it on to an artillery piece. and it was bing, boom, boom, you know. It was something. Because there's all hedgerows and everything like that. Once in a while we'd see a dead one, you know. But otherwise you didn't hardly see them because they kept on retreating. They took all the prisoners at Brest. You know, we didn't, they must have had all their troops there, and that's where all the prisoners were taken. See, no, yeah. There was the Hill 192 that we were at. There was a St. Lo. I mean, on top of the hill was a cemetery, you know, and the Germans were dug in there, but they could see from where they were way down to the beach. So it was terrible. We pulled back 100 yards or so, and the drift of the smoke shifted, and that's where the airplane dropped the bomb. They killed about 90 guys, 90, 100 guys. We told them they were bombing the wrong guys. But after that, we did it over. Because right after that, Brest fell, you know, and I got hurt at St. June de Witt on my birthday. I didn't know it was my birthday, and when I filled out the report, it said June 27th. Well, Christ, that was my birthday. Some president. The lieutenant says, "Hey, Daul, go down and get the tank, you know, at the battalion, see?" So me and another guy, we go down there, we sign out the tank, and we're coming back up the hill, and all of a sudden, bang, bang, you know, 2 shells landed. The shrapnel, if I would have been standing straight up, it would have broke my shoulder. But I was bent over a little bit, it went through this arm, see, you know. And I was down on the ground. I lost power in it, you know. But then a little while later, it come back, and the guy give me a shot. He says, "You want another one? You can have it." See, you know, I said, "No, one's enough." So I went back down to the battalion aid station, and I see a guy from De Pere, Jim Van Vunnen. He was there. Then I went to the other hospital, and what they were doing. They were getting loads of plane and then shipping back to England because if there was a counterattack, you got a bunch of guys can't defend themselves. Well, anyway, while I was laying there, I just had come in, and Miss Patton was my nurse. Nurse I had from grade school. Yeah. She was a second lieutenant, but I found out later she died in California as a major. Put you on a truck, you move, and you don't ask questions. Where am I going? They loaded us on one of the big trucks and took us to the airfield, and we got in. We went to England. It was tents and stuff like that, And one time I was getting better. I thought I was. And I asked for a pass because I knew a friend of mine, Joe Peters, was about 20 miles away, So they said, the girl says, get the pass and you get the money for $20, spend it. So I went to the guy and I asked him for the pass. He says, "You want to go on a pass? We'll give you back to your duty." Where's his ass? Well, all the while I was over there, I always wrote and told Mom that I was in England, But then she got the letter that I was, hurt, After that guy says you're fit for duty. I was on the way the next day. Same way I got there before, on the boat and the landing craft. But the landing craft landed right on the beach, Yeah. Well, it was all clean and everything. That was, a month after the invasion, When we got off to the landing craft, some lieutenant there, says, you take these bags, there was 4 of us, and he says, you take these bags up for the lieutenant. So we had to crawl them up, haul them up the hill, See, that was the only entrance into France was, except Cherbourg, and Cherbourg was quite a ways down too. But anyway, we happened to take our rifle and break the bottle of booze, just by accident, Because why should we be their servant? From the beach, we got on trucks, and we got a truck to go as far as Paris. And then we went through Paris, at 30 miles on the other side of Paris, where they had a big camp there. It was in a granary. And then alongside of the granary, they had another patch over here. That's where they kept the prisoners, the GIs, that did something. So anyway, after we got there, we all went up in the granary, and we got our bed and everything. And some guy next to me says, you want to go to the show tonight? Well, they had a show down, I said, sure. So we get down there, and he's trying to unbutton my pants, So I says, what are you doing? And he didn't say nothing, and he kept on with my leg and everything. So I give him a shot in the arm, with my elbow, and he got up and left. And when the show was over, he was gone. He was gone someplace, he left, So then the next day, this is where it gets juicy. The next day, one of these guys that were there, my division, says, let's go to Paris. I said, well, we can't get a pass. Sure we can, he says, follow me. So we went around the train, and got on the train on the other side, So we didn't go past the MP or nothing. So we were on the train, and there was a girl on there with a bottle of wine that she was supposed to meet somebody, and he didn't show up. So